Leo, welcome to the realm of astrology. This is your monthly horoscope overview for the month of October 2021. But before we begin, I request you to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you can be notified every time I post a video. And I also do daily video horoscopes and weekly video horoscopes that you can watch on my YouTube channel. And this video is for Leo rising and Leo sun. And I would recommend watching your rising sign and then your sun sign. So let's talk about the month of October. And as we enter the month of October, Leo, Mercury is retrograde and it will be till October 18th, which means that it's not the best time to start new things, sign new contracts, and communication can slow down and gadgets can malfunction. And we'll talk more about Mercury retrograde when we talk about October 18th. But I just thought I'd mention that. And another thing about October, Leo, is that a lot of planets are going direct again. Since April, a lot of planets have gone retrograde one by one, starting with Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Chiron. All the outer planets are retrograde as we enter the month of October, but one by one they begin to go direct in October, which means that the forward movement begins again. Retrogrades are a time where we review things and work on things that we've already worked on. And it's also a time of receiving karma. But when planets go direct, we start the forward movement again. We start to create karma again. So that's what October is about in a way. It's about the direct motion of all the planets, which will speed up, which will start to move things forward. That being said, the first important thing, Leo, happens on October 6th, and that is the new moon in the sign of Libra. The new moon's happening at 13 degrees of Libra, which puts it in your third house, and a new moon is a beginning. We begin something on a new moon. We seed something on a new moon that we will work on for the next 28, 30 days. And for you, Leo, this beginning, this thing that you're seeding is connected to the third house of communication, social media, your logical mind, your siblings, your peer group, and immediate environment. It could be that you change up your immediate environment, right? Or it could be that you change up something when it comes to social media. So that's the energy, and this is something that you will work on for the next 28, 30 days. And on the same day, Leo, we have, another thing, I will break down the moon energy in the moon video. So if you want to know what a particular new moon, full moon looks like, what the energy is, you can watch those videos. And another thing, Leo, before we move forward, I have made a video on the long-term energies in your chart. Things like Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, and what these mean for you up until 2023. So if you want to know what the larger themes are for you, Leo, then you can watch that as well. Okay, now moving on the same day, October 6th, we have Pluto going direct, right? Pluto has been retrograde since April. And Pluto retrogrades are a time where the forward movement, the active work on our psychology, it slows down. We review things we've already worked on. And for you, that forward movement will start again on October 6th when Pluto goes direct. And Pluto requires internal work, it requires psychological work, it requires total transformation. And for you, that's the sixth house. Sixth house of health, job, diet, routine, exercise. That's what Pluto is asking you to work on, whether that's psychologically, whether that's a complete transformation in this area for you. And Pluto has been here for many, many years. So that's October 6th. Then on October 7th, Leo, we have Venus changing signs. Venus is going to leave the sign of leave the sign of Scorpio and enter the sign of Sagittarius, right? So let's see that. Venus is here in Scorpio. It's going to leave and enter your fifth house. Your fifth house is Sag. And Venus is a benefic. It gives gifts and blessings and rewards. And for you, up until October 7th, it has been giving you gifts, bringing you rewards, and even making you more receptive to your fourth house, your deepest emotions, your family, your foundation, your roots. It could be a physical home as well. So it could be that you become more receptive to your emotions, or you become more receptive to caring for yourself, to self-care. Fourth house is self-care as well. Or you become more receptive to the close friends you have in your life or your family. Any one of these things, these are just examples. And now on October 7th, Venus is going to enter your fifth house and give you gifts, blessings, and make you more receptive to the fifth house: love, romance, creativity, children, hobbies, fun, pleasure. It could be that you become more receptive to romance or love, or it could be that you have a new beginning or not a new beginning, a blessing or reward when it comes to love or romance or creativity, anything connected to the fifth house. So that's October 7th. And then on October 10th, we have Saturn going direct. Saturn is in your seventh house, Leo. And Saturn is the planet that puts things in order. It asks us to work hard wherever it is transiting. And for you, that's the seventh house, right? Seventh house is the house of marriage, business partnerships, legal issues. So that's what you're actively working on. And when Saturn went retrograde, which it did in the past few months, that active hard work eased off, and now that work will begin again. New things connected to this area of marriage, um, legal issues, business partnerships will start again. So you'll have to work in this area. And then on October 12th, Leo, October is a very intense month. We have a lot going on, so I'm going to move as fast as I can. And then on October 12th, Leo, we have the first quarter square of the moon. Now, this is a point where the sun and the moon make their first 90-degree angle. And this is a point where the whole week we start to overcome challenges, make changes and adjustments connected to the new beginning that happened on October 6th, which was connected to your third house. So the beginning connected to your mind, communication, information, social media, immediate environment, siblings, peer group. This week you are adjusting things connected to that. Maybe you started a new social media thing. Example. These are just examples. But this week you're thinking, okay, I can do this better. Maybe I need to make this adjustment. Things like that. So the whole week is about that, Leo. Moving on to October 18th. We have Jupiter going direct. Jupiter has been retrograde as well for a few months now, and Jupiter is the planet of gifts and rewards and blessings and even lessons. And when Jupiter goes retrograde, those ease off, right? We deal with things we've worked on before when Jupiter was direct. But now Jupiter is going direct again, and the gifts, the rewards, the lessons will start again for you, connected to your seventh house of marriage, business partnerships, and legal issues. And on the same day, Leo, we have Mercury coming out of retrograde. Right? And like I said, Mercury retrogrades are not the best time to sign new contracts, to start new things. Communication slows down, gadgets can malfunction. And for you, specifically, it was a time of review to matters connected to the third house. Your thinking, your communication, social media, your immediate environment, peer groups, siblings, all these things. Right? And now the forward movement in that area will start again. Mercury will come out of retrograde and the review process will ease off. Now the forward movement begins. And then on October 20th, Leo, we have the full moon in the sign of Aries, which puts it in your ninth and third house axis. Right? So what are full moons? Full moons are basically a point of clarity. We can see things clearly on a full moon. And they're also a point of emotional release, and they also highlight certain things in our life. So for you, Leo, first of all, this full moon is going to highlight your third and ninth house, right? Your mind, thinking, communication, social media, peer groups, siblings, all these things on one hand, and on the other hand, higher knowledge, wisdom, publishing, foreign travel, higher education, all these things. That's what this moon is going to highlight for you. And another thing about this full moon is that in the month of April, Leo, we had a new moon in Aries. And that's when we really stepped into a new energy, a new life of sorts. And this full moon will help us understand what started, how the energy shifted back in the month of April 2021. And then on October 23rd, We have the sun changing signs from Libra. It's going to enter the sign of Scorpio. And up until October 23rd, the focus, the highlight for you is going to be your third house, communication, your logical mind, thinking, peer group, siblings, social media. But from October 23rd to November 22nd, 23rd, basically 30 days, the highlight and the focus will be your fourth house, your deepest emotions, taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself, family, foundation, perhaps a physical home, your closest friends. That's what the highlight is going to be for you. And towards the end of the month, on October 28th, we have the last quarter square of the moon. Now, this is a point where the sun and the moon make their last 90-degree angle. And this whole week, starting on October 28th till the new moon on November 4th, the energy is about release and letting go of what of the new beginning you had in your third house. Connected to communication, thinking, social media, your mind, peer groups, siblings, immediate environment. Now this week you're assessing what about that beginning stays, what about that beginning goes, what am I releasing, right? That's the vibe. And on October 30th, Leo, you have Mars changing signs. Mars is an energizer. It reinvigorates and energizes any part that it transits, right? So for you, up until October 30th, Mars is in your third house, re-energizing your third house of your thinking, communication, social media, peer group, siblings, immediate environment. So for examples, and these are just examples, say, for example, you weren't very concerned about your immediate environment for the past 2 years or so. Mars enters a particular sign, which means a particular house almost after 2 years. So maybe in the past 2 years, you haven't paid much attention to your immediate environment. But Mars comes in and says, hey, time to work on this, time to change up your immediate environment. Just an example. And now in your fourth house, maybe it could be that you haven't given yourself time, you haven't taken care of yourself. But Mars comes in and says, hey, start taking care of yourself. We need to take care of you, So that's the energy. It re-energizes any part it's in. That's where the action happens, right? So that's October 30th, and that's the end of the month, Leo. So October is a month, to sum it up, where a lot of forward movement will start again. And I will pick a card for you, Leo, and then we'll close it out. Something, put it in the wrong. Okay. Let's go with the top. Indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. Leo, if you are confused this month about a decision, then go with your intuition, right? That's the first card. Let's go with another card for you. Let's go with the top. It says the fates. I think this month is another fated month, Leo, and leave it up to fate. So go with your gut because you are intuitive, and leave it up to fate. So that's all I'm going to say for you, Leo. I hope you have a great month, and I will see you in one of my other readings. Bye.